This
Central.
conference will now be recorded.
A great presentation on the United States and some opportunities on small ship cruising, both the coast, both sides of the coast, as well as the rivers of America. And we're also very fortunate to have Cindy Christensen. She's with American Cruise Line, and she'll be presenting today as well. Every day, just so you know, we all know that it's been a crazy year in travel. Every day gets a little better. Each day we get new announcements about what's opening and what's available for American travelers. But we always sometimes forget that America is one of the best places to travel to. And I think today you'll be surprised by the many choices you have with American Cruise Line. So let me introduce Travel Central. Cindy. Thank you. Travel Central has been in business since 1988. We have over 15 travel advisors whose only goal is to make sure that you have the best vacation possible. We answer questions. We work only with insured and vetted travel vendors. We monitor all your vacations for itinerary changes and any changes that we take and advocate on your behalf to make sure that you get the best experience possible. A couple of housekeeping items. If you have questions, there is a chat box. Please type your question in there, and we will answer all questions at the end of the presentation. Or if they're simple ones, I will go ahead and answer them as we go along as Cindy is presenting. In addition, we will be muting everyone. If you can't hear, we're not muting our sound, we're muting your sound. So we will definitely get on to that. So with that, we're going to start with a short video on American Cruise Lines, and then Cindy will take over from there. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll start now.
America, a nation rich in history and boundless optimism, from sea to shining sea. From the epic root of Lewis and Clark to the revolutionary spirit of our founding fathers, we are a nation of pioneers, ideas, and adventures. With American Cruise Lines, you can experience it all. Bask in the scenic beauty of the heartland. Savor the tradition of a New England lobster bake. Feel the warmth of true Southern hospitality. Step back in time aboard our modern riverboats and explore what defined us as a nation. Cruise close to home with American Cruise Lines. Visit AmericanCruiseLines.com or call for a free cruise guide. Small ship cruising, done perfectly.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Melinda, for having me here today. My name again is Cindy Kristen with American Cruise Lines. We are the largest USA river cruise operator, and we operate on small ships. I'm going to show you today throughout the USA with 35 amazing itineraries. We do that all with simple sophistication. We travel to the most amazing destinations across the USA, and we offer a very elevated cruise experience for our guests, and it's very low key. There's no black tie affairs or formal gatherings, but it's a very personalized experience, very well designed with enrichment programs like historians and lecturers on board. And we have all the comforts of home because you're cruising close to home. So let's go ahead and show you a little bit more about what we offer. First of all, our ships. We have the newest and most environmentally friendly small cruise ships and riverboats in America. We have 3 different types of ships. We have our traditional paddle wheelers, which are most well known for cruising in the US. We have our coastal ships for along the coastline, and we have our new modern riverboats that I'm going to show you today as well. And those operate on the rivers. We do this all with amazing, gracious hospitality, very attentive service. All of our ships are under 200 passengers, and we offer a very high level of service. It's the hallmark of American Cruise Lines. And to top it off, we have exquisite cuisine. Every day we bring on the fresh meats, fish, fruits, vegetables, and we prepare local cuisines, all prepared by our master chefs, something you truly will enjoy. This is an all-American experience. All of our ships are built here in the good old USA. They're US flagged and 100% US crewed. We offer 35 itineraries to 25 states in the USA. Also, spacious amenities. You'll see the largest staterooms of any cruise ship, all with interior entrances. Every view is entirely private. And then the private balconies, sliding glass doors, which lead to spacious private balconies, offering panoramic river views from every single angle. So let's take a look at where we travel. We've got it really covered here in the USA. We do the entire Mississippi. For some of you, that might be right in your backyard. We have the lower and the upper Mississippi. You can go all the way from New Orleans on up into Minneapolis, or do portions of the river. We do the tributaries of the Mississippi. That would be the Cumberland from St. Louis to Nashville, or St. Louis to Pittsburgh on the Ohio. Or reaching out there in the Pacific Northwest, we have the beautiful Columbia and Snake Rivers, and that would be from Portland, Oregon to Clarkston, Washington. And then we have our coastal product. You can see all along down the East Coast, the Maine, New England, Hudson, Chesapeake Bay. And then we even do some really nice itineraries around Florida, also from Charleston to Jacksonville. And also you can also go from Jacksonville on up to Baltimore on our East Coast Inland Passage. We also, out in the West, we have our beautiful Puget Sound and San Juan Islands from Seattle, and we do 3 amazing itineraries from Alaska. And yes, we are operating in Alaska this year. So let's start right there. Maybe some of you, it might be right close in your backyard here, the mighty Mississippi River. It's an amazing river with a tremendous amount of history, and you're absolutely going to learn a lot about it here. We operate on the lower Mississippi from Memphis to New Orleans, or reverse, or New Orleans round trip. Pretty much most of the year, we operate from mid-February through the end of December. We do the upper Mississippi traditionally in the summertime from St. Louis to Minneapolis, because the river tends to be high other parts of the year. And then we do the St. Louis to Pittsburgh on the Ohio, and the St. Louis to Nashville in the summertime as well. On the Mississippi, we operate our paddle wheelers, and we have our new modern riverboats. Moving over to the East Coast, we've got some great itineraries for you there. If you love little quaint towns and villages you'd love to visit, like Martha's Vineyard and Provincetown, beautiful places, Nantucket. These are really intricate areas, not so easy to get to, but we can get to them very easily with our nice little small ships on our coastals that run anywhere from 100 guests to 175. We do the Maine coast from Portland, Maine, round trip, or you can do our New England Isles from Providence, Rhode Island, round trip, or we have a Grand New England that will take you from Boston round trip on a 10-night itinerary. Very exciting for us this year. We have a new itinerary. It's called the Cape Codder, and it's a 7-night itinerary, round trip from Boston. And then also remember, in the fall, we do the beautiful Hudson River Fall Foliage Program, round trip out of New York City. And then we also offer from the Southeast, we've got those wonderful itineraries out of Florida. In fact, we're operating those right now out of Jacksonville to Charleston, or on up to Baltimore. That's our historic South and Golden Isle itinerary, or East Coast Inland Passage. We also have a great little itinerary that goes round trip from Jacksonville if you really want to stay local. And we do this on our small coastal ship of only 100 guests. Next, we have our Pacific Northwest. And this is just a fabulous itinerary. The scenery is absolutely amazing. You're going to go from Portland, Oregon to Clarkston, Washington, or reverse. We offer this on a 7 or a 10-night program. We're going to see things like Mount St. Helens, the Multnomah Falls. We're going to visit the Columbia Wine Valley. Just really wonderful areas of the country to see, and the landscape is very diverse. And we operate the Columbian Snake from mid-March until the end of October. So it's a shorter season. We have 2 paddle wheelers out there, and we have 2 modern riverboats. We also have a very nice coastal program out in the Pacific Northwest. That's our Puget Sound and San Juan Islands. That's going to take you round trip from Seattle. And if you'd like to do some whale watching, that's a great itinerary to do that on. We do that on one of our small coastal ships of 100 guests. And lastly, we have Alaska. We will be operating in Alaska. We're a U.S. company. We stay strictly here in the U.S. So this year, I know there are some restrictions on Alaska, but we are able to operate in Alaska. We have 3 beautiful itineraries. We're going to start off June 4th with our itinerary out of Ketchikan to Juneau. That's a modified inside passage itinerary. It'll be a 10-night program. And then we'll start with our Alaskan Explorer, which is a 10-night round trip Juneau itinerary with some itineraries at the end of the season of round trip from Juneau on a 7-night. That's our Southeast Alaska. Now, what makes our Alaska special? First of all, we're operating on a small ship of only 175 guests. We're able to get in these small ports. You're going to notice some of these ports we go to are not the typical stops that you'll find on the larger ships. We'll have a historian on board, and we'll have a naturalist there as we cruise in the Glacier Bay for a couple days there. So we have a great itinerary, a whole different experience for you, a more in-depth way to see Alaska. We always do include 1-night pre-hotel as well in Alaska for you before the embarking on the ship. And by the way, we do have some space still in Alaska, but it's filling up. If you still would like to go to Alaska this year, make sure that you call Travel Central and book one of those dates for you. Now, I wanted to mention that we do have a lot of themed cruises. We have so much history in this country, and with our themed cruises, we can bring it to life with you. So you're going to learn a lot on the cruises. It's not just about enjoying and relaxing. It's also a great educational experience for you while you're on board, because you're absolutely going to learn a lot of history about our country and the culture and many other things. So we have some great themed cruises. If you're out there on the Columbian Snake, we have the Lewis and Clark themed. We have, of course, that is the Lewis and Clark Journey, the trail of the Lewis and Clark, as well as we have the culinary and wine themed cruises, because we'll take you there in the Columbia Wine Valley. On the Mississippi River, on the lower Mississippi, we do, of course, the Civil War theme, and we also do some music themed cruises. On the upper Mississippi, you'll find Mark Twain themed cruises. On the Northeast itineraries, Maine, New England itineraries, you're going to find that in the summertime when those operate, every departure on those are going to be lobster bake themed. So you're going to, if you like lobster, you're going to get a lot of lobster. We also do tulip time out there on the Puget Sound and San Juan Islands when we take you up into the Bouchard Gardens in Vancouver. Also, we have some Christmas markets. We'll do those on the lower Mississippi, on the Chesapeake Bay itinerary, and also on our historic South. And I also want to mention that we do have a great itinerary out of Baltimore that's called the American Revolution, all focused around the American Revolution. So some great themed cruises for our guests. Now, you just can't go on a cruise without doing some great shore excursions. And we have some wonderful shore excursions on every single itinerary. Some of them are featured, some are additional. On our river cruise product, we do include a complimentary tour every single day. Now, these are hosted by local guides. We do have some featured tours are included on our product. Some of our tours are what we consider premium, and those run anywhere $20 to $70. Those are offered in addition to our featured tours. And then we have signature tours. These are very limited availability excursions. These would be something like doing the jet boat tour through Hell's Canyon, out there on the Columbian Snake, a behind the scene tour of the Boonville Dam, or maybe kayaking in Alaska, or charter fishing in Alaska. Those are going to be very exclusive, and you can sign up for all of these ahead of time if you wish. I also want to mention that we have over 50 new tours this year. We have some really things if you're more adventurous. We've got hiking and biking. We've got segways. We have river rafting, schooner sailing, kayaking. So we have a lot of great stuff to offer you. So you can have a lot of fun, or if you just want to relax and not do a whole lot, absolutely you can do whatever you like. It's your vacation. So let's take a look at our ships. The Constellation class are the American Constellation and the Constitution. Those two ships, one is out there on the West Coast and one is over on the East Coast. And there are larger 175 passenger ships. So one is doing Alaska, and the American Constitution does a lot of different ones. It does our Grand New England, it does our American Revolution, and it does the Hudson River. The Independence class is the coastals that are smaller. That would be the Independence, American Star, and American Spirit, which are only 100 guests. And then we have our new modern riverboats. Right now we have 3 of them. Our 4th one is coming, the American Melody. These are fabulous modern riverboats. They're similar to those in Europe, only they are wider because the locks are not as narrow as they are in Europe. They are faster, quieter, extremely environmentally friendly, and they can go very remote. We can actually park these modern riverboats right into the embankment if we don't have an actual docking platform. So we do have 2 of them that are on the Mississippi, and we have 2 that are on the Columbian Snake, and they are 180 guests. And then we have, of course, our authentic paddle wheelers. These are most known for cruising in the US. We have 2 on the Columbian Snake and 2 on the Mississippi, and they run in size from only 100 guests to 180. So those are the types of ships that you're going to find here in the USA. So let's take a peek in one of our staterooms. This is your home away from home. Our staterooms are very spacious. They offer all the amenities of a fine hotel. We have full-size bathrooms, large closets, lots of interior space, private balconies, unobstructed views. So you can really just take in all the beautiful landscape, and you can really relax in your private sanctuary and unwind after a fulfilling day. We do a twice daily stateroom service. We do have elevators on all the ship. They have access to all the decks, sliding glass doors. We have also breakfast room service, which we have now extended to include also lunch and dinner. So if you wanted room service for all 3 meals, that's absolutely available to you. You can dine out there on your beautiful balcony on your deck there. Also, we have onboard Wi-Fi too. So you're not going to miss anything here. Onboard, like I said earlier, it's a very relaxed atmosphere. You're going to really enjoy. There's a small number of guests. You're all going to get to know each other throughout the sailing. And, you know, it's quite a very nice, relaxing experience for you. Our programs, our onboard amenities include the gratuities. These are the gratuities to the crew on board, as well as your motor coach driver and your tour guide. We also have complimentary hotel packages. So if you're doing our river cruise product on the Mississippi or the Columbian Snake or our Alaska, we always will include a 1-night pre-hotel and a transfer from the hotel to the ship. We also have onboard entertainment. We have amazing entertainment, really excellent entertainment that we bring on board. Piano players, singers, dancers, musicians, all types of entertainment for our guests. And we have the entertainment after dinner, but we always have on board, we always have a historian or a lecturer on board every sailing. So these people are amazing. They know so much history and culture of these different areas, and they bring these areas to life for our guests. So you're really going to go away feeling so much more knowledgeable and humble, I believe, after you've experienced one of these, learning all the great things about our country. Also, we will also have on some sailings, depending on the departure and the date, we may have different people on, like artists that, you know, are going to do different types of classes during the week in art or music, for instance, music lessons, banjo, or just, you know, talks on music, that type of thing. But we have different types of, those people will stay with us the whole week. But we do have entertainment each evening that usually comes and goes off of the ship. So you'll definitely get a lot of enrichment from that. Also, so every evening before dinner, we're going to have this amazing cocktail party, all top shelf liquor. You can have whatever you like. And then you're going to go to dinner. When you're done with dinner, you come out, you enjoy the entertainment. We're going to continue with the cocktail party through the end of the evening. In addition, we do include wine and beer at lunch and dinner. We have open seating dining. So you come into the dining room, you can sit with whomever you like. It's first come, first serve. We've got plenty of space in the dining room. You do not have to be there right when it opens. You can come anytime during the open seating dining period. And keep in mind that we do have the room service dining, and we do have on some of the ships, they do have what we call our backyard cafe, which is up on the top deck, which serves hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries, pizza, ice cream, that throughout the day. Also the onboard Wi-Fi. So I wanted to mention some groups that we hear. We're very excited to work with Travel Central on a couple great group opportunities. The first is the Cape Codder. This is our new itinerary that we're starting this year. It's out of Boston, wonderful bean town where you're going to get to do a nice city tour. Then we're going to go to Gloucester, Plymouth, which is the coastal town site of the Pilgrims' first settlement. And you'll also see Plymouth Rock. And there you'll also see the Mayflower replica. And then really exciting is that we have an exclusive Into the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. So we get a behind the scene tour. We meet the science and the engineers. We see all the cutting edge technology and facilities, and we see the vehicles and the robots. So it's a great experience for our guests. We'll also stop in Martha's Vineyard, and you know, that's a very popular vacation spot. Also, they've got all the wonderful lighthouses and gingerbread cottages. Then also stopping in New Bedford for the Whaling Museum, and into Provincetown, which is a really cute, quaint, beautiful town with colorful architecture and nice little cute shops. So that's going to be May 30th of next year, and that will be on our American Constitution, which is a 175 passenger coastal ship. So that's a great itinerary, and Erin Morgery is going to be escorting that from Travel Central. So that sounds like a great cruise. So if you're interested in that, you want to make sure that you touch base with them and sign up for that. These are some of the stops here, as I mentioned earlier. Next, we have our other group departure, which is going to be October 20th. That's on the Columbian Snake, and that's going to go the direction from Portland to Clarkson, Washington. It's a 7-night cruise, and we include 1 night pre-hotel. That would be a 1-night pre-hotel in Portland. And I mentioned some things of that what you will see there, but I have a really nice short video here I'd love to show you on the Columbian Snake River.
There was a time when the West was unknown. Explorers pushed the boundaries to discover a new frontier. With American Cruise Lines, you can travel the epic route forged by Lewis and Clark, explore the breathtaking deserts and bountiful forests of the Columbia River Valley while you relax in the comfort of your private balcony. Savor the finest local cuisine as we cruise through the deepest canyon in America. Witness breathtaking landscapes, historic landmarks, natural wonders aboard the world's finest riverboats. Only on the Columbia and Snake Rivers, and only with American Cruise Lines. Visit AmericanCruiseLines.com or call for your free cruise guide. Small ship cruising, done perfectly.
Okay, that sounds like a great cruise. I know everything, all of the cruises are absolutely fabulous. You would enjoy any one of them, and you'll have a great time. So I wanted to kind of in my part of the presentation here, talking a little bit about our operating protocol. We did start back operating several weeks ago, and everything so far so good. We're very pleased to be back out there operating. We have created some new operating protocols right now so our guests feel safe and confident in traveling with us. First of all, we have put medical personnel on board. This is something new. Typically, river cruise lines do not have medical personnel on board. The crew is trained in certain medical procedures, CPR, and the use of defibrillator, but now we do have an EMT or a nurse on board all the time. We do also have shipboard and shoreside testing capability. So we're asking that guests provide a negative COVID test 4 days before embarkation. Also, we will test them before they get on board. Right now, until April 30th, we are asking that they do have the vaccine. Those are for departures by April 30th. We also have coordination with the hospitals in every port of call. We have introduced a lot of touchless technology on board, and we have the PPE and the sanitation requirements. Note that our ships all have their own private HVAC system. That's their own individual air conditioning system. That same goes with the lounges, so it's not continued throughout connected from one stateroom to another and one lounge to another. Also, we have a capacity restriction. This is something that we introduced on ourselves. We don't fall under the same guidelines as the big cruise lines with the CDC, but we have reduced our capacity on board to 75% for the time being, and that includes also on our tours and on our motor coaches as well. We've reduced the number of guests on the motor coaches and tours. Also, I already mentioned about the PCR testing required. We have several other COVID things which we can provide if you would like to know more about them. And I know that if you touch base there and talk to your agent at Travel Central, they'll be able to give you more detail on our COVID-19 operating protocols. So I want to offer you a nice special here. We have a Today's Show special. This is if you book and deposit by April 21st on any new reservation, you can save $600 per stateroom. This is for any new bookings. It's not combinable with any other offer. We may have some other offers that may be better on select dates. Your agent, your advisor there is going to check that for you. So make sure that you'll get the best offer. So if the group date is not what you're looking for, even though those are wonderful, if you have something else in mind, you can take advantage of the Today's Show special. And I would highly suggest that you book as early as possible. Things are looking very good for us. We're doing quite well this year, and also 22 is going to be a very, very popular year. So if there's anything that you see that you'd like to book, it's a great time and take advantage of this wonderful offer. For single passengers, we do have single staterooms and we have single rates. So we have a lot of single staterooms on our new modern boats. We have 10 staterooms that are singles. And then on our paddle wheelers and our coastals, we have 6 single staterooms. And of course, they are very popular, so you want to book those as early as you can. So I want to thank you, and I want to turn it back over to you, Melinda.
Thanks, Cindy. That was excellent, and I'm definitely ready to go and explore America. That you'll offer some really unique destinations, and it looks like a fantastic cruise. We did record the presentation, so if you came in late, no worries. We'll be putting that out as soon as the recording is completed sometime this afternoon. I do have to say that 2021 is going to be a very interesting year. Daily, we get announcements, whether it's something's open, something's closed, or new protocols, health protocols, vaccination requirements, and things like that. So our advisors are here. We keep up with all that. We have tools and resources to make sure that our travelers are ready to travel with the proper information. And finally, we do these virtual experiences every other Tuesday, and we really just like to introduce people to different destinations so that when they are ready to travel, they actually get the best experience possible and not just something they've heard about. So next, in 2 weeks, we're doing Antarctica, and then we're going to be doing Egypt that we have another agent going on at. So unless we have any more questions, I see we had the additional charge for single passengers, which has been addressed. If anyone has anything else, please ask now. If not, thank you. And if you're ready to go on a cruise, please give Travel Central a call. You have the phone numbers right here. We look forward to working with you and really being your resource to make a seamless vacation. Here are our upcoming virtual travel experience that we have going on in the next couple of weeks. So all of them are complimentary. All of them are on Eventbrite. So please sign up. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.